So today I'm going to talk about beadlocks. Why you want to run them and maybe why you wouldn't want to. So a beadlock, the difference between that and your traditional wheel is a traditional wheel you have to have a certain amount of pressure to keep the rubber, your bead against, tight against the wheel so you don't lose air. So if you air down too much, you can pop the bead and then you lose your air and then you got a flat tire. A beadlock, the bead of the tire is between the wheel and this beadlock ring. And the advantage of that is that you can run really low air pressure. So one of the things is that for rock crawling. So what it does is it allows that tire to really expand or get more footprint on the ground or on whatever you're crawling on. It also allows on the rocks to kind of wrap around and just get a better traction. The other thing that is really nice is like if you're going to be, and I do a lot of spring snow wheeling, which is fun. So the snow, that's after it's settled down, it's a little more compact, will air down. I generally start around 7 pounds and then go below that depending on what it takes to stay up on top and be able to go. Got some videos if you want to go back and see what we've done with some of that. Rock crawling, I generally go about 8 pounds, sometimes not 7, it just depends, but generally right around 8 pounds has always worked really good. The other advantage of being an air down is the fact that if you're on like really bumpy roads, washboard roads, anything like that, if you air down, it just gives you a softer ride, a lot more comfortable ride. Having a beadlock ring and having that tire pinched on there, you're not going to slip the wheel from the tire either. So that's some of the advantages of having a beadlock. So some of the disadvantages of a beadlock is they're difficult to install. I guess they're not really super difficult or hard. They just take a lot of time because you've got to put them on there. You got to torque that all down, and they're also not DOT approved. And so most of the shops around won't touch them. They don't want to have anything to do with them because they're not DOT approved. You can find some that will. They'll charge you a fair amount to get it done. I've had some people do them in the past. When I installed, well, not this one, but the ones on the Jeep, when I put new tires on, I just did it myself. And then I just found somebody that would balance them for me. Actually, I found somebody that would pop the bead off too, and then we put them all back together, got them all aired up, and then took them down and had them rebalanced, and I just went that route. And it took us a chunk of a day, most of a day, me and my brother working at it, trying getting them off, getting down, getting the back of the bead broke off the back of the wheel, and then get them all reinstalled, back down, and getting them all balanced and then back on the Jeep. But luckily you don't have to do a whole, often. But anyway, so that's kind of a disadvantage, is just the time consuming to get it on there, and they're not DOT approved. The other thing that you have to, there's a lot more maintenance to them. So once you get them on and you get them all installed, you'll run them a little while, 500,000 miles, then I'll go back through and re-torque all that. You're going to want to recheck the torque every so often. I have found, in my personal experience, and it may be different for other people, but once I've re-torqued them a couple times, so I install them and re-torque them 2 to 3 times. Sometimes not even that much, but generally they haven't moved on me. When I go back, they're still all torqued to where they need to be. But you're still going to want to check them every once in a while because you don't want that coming apart. But I've had really good luck with them. I like them for what I'm doing. But yeah, so that's some of the disadvantages. So if you're somebody that likes to do a lot of rock crawling or spend time in snow, where you're wanting to run low air pressure, below 15 pounds, you're wanting to get down in that 10-pound range or under, then, beadlocks might be a good choice for you. That's something you'll have to kind of decide if you want to do or not, but they've been great for me. I've had no issues with them. I've heard of people not liking them because they leak some. I've never had them leak on me. And it might be depend on the brand of beadlock you run too. I don't know on that, but I've never had any issues. I've got them on both my Jeeps. The ones I ran the methods, they were good. I had no problems with them. I didn't have any leak issues or anything like that. I'm running KMC on both my Jeeps now, different style, but they're KMCs. and I like them. I think they've run good. I don't have any issues running down the road with them. And I drove this clear to Arizona and back. So, but anyway, yeah, I've had really good luck with them. But I just like the advantages. If I get off road, I can air down. If I need to air down more, I can air down more to get a better ride or better traction. Stay up on top of snow or whatever it is I'm doing. I just feel like that it's just a real advantage for me. So, for my type of wheeling, they're awesome. If you're not somebody that's, if you're more of like an overlander where you're never, you're not doing that hardcore stuff, you can air down enough without having a beadlock. You can go down to 15, 20 pounds and you can still get a good ride off road or, on the dirt roads or rough road or stuff. But I think these are more for a little more hardcore stuff. More difficult stuff where basically what it amounts to is anything where you got to get down to low air pressure. That's what these are good for. So anyway, that's my thoughts and kind of on the beadlock wheel and some of the disadvantages, some of the advantages. For me, the advantages are way above the disadvantages. The disadvantages don't really bother me, so they work good for me. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll see you on the next one.